All right, Illini fans. I seen the interview of Brad Underwood. I did not watch the game. I was sleeping, and it's a good thing I did. Brad Underwood had nothing nice to say. Says players lacked heart, um, desire to win, effort. They were embarrassing. They were a disgrace. He said after the game, a player said, "We just lost to Penn State." And that's how embarrassing it is. You're at home, you get blown out by Penn State. That's pathetic. It was so bad that Trent Frazier, either he's in Serbia or on his way, texted the team during the game to try to give them motivation at halftime. It didn't work. He said the only player on the team who always gives it is Sincere Harris. He said that if no one wants to be a leader, he'll be the leader, and they don't want that. It won't be good for them. So he said before the season started, he circled the Penn State game, and he told them, yeah, get hyped for Texas and UCLA and Virginia, but what are you going to do against Penn State coming off that? And they went out there and got blown out. That's pathetic. So I didn't watch the game, and I'm glad I didn't because I would have, lost it. If you listen to Brad Underwood's interview, he was savage. If he said that to the public, can you imagine what he said to the team? I can imagine it. I'm sure he called them all kind of names and called them beta males and simps and so on and so on. And he said the team needs to do a lot of soul searching this week. And they do. I know Coleman Hawkins, I know he wants to just, I know he's really disappointed. The junior, 32 minutes and 6 lousy points, 7 lousy rebounds. The junior, Coleman Hawkins. That's a problem. He's a big problem. You can't get that kind of lack of production. It's inexcusable. It's just a lack of dedication, heart and effort and desire. I would have clipped the beginning of the overtime versus Texas. That is how this team should play the entire game. Moving without the basketball with purpose. Passing the basketball with purpose. Going to the rim with purpose. That was the most beautiful basketball that this team has played all year long. And that's how they should play. But they're just too lazy, unmotivated to play like that. Because that requires effort. When you have to move with purpose, that requires energy, desire. Moving to the rim, it requires desire, passion. These players don't have it. It's easier to hang out at the three-point line hoping you make a bucket. And we're going to go to the stats and we're going to see once again the recipe for failure. So Matt, 4 for 11 from the floor. It's not good. 2 for 8 from 3. That's not very special. 14 points. Clark, 4 for 8 from the floor. 3 for 6 from 3. For him, that's about as good as you're going to get. So, yeah, 11 points and 7 rebounds. So, for him, that's something. But at 32 minutes, though. R.J. Melendez, where are you, my friend? The disappointing sophomore. He didn't play much because Brad just looked at him and said, why bother? 5 points in 16 minutes. He only takes 2 shots. RJ has a real bad beta male complex. He just refuses to be assertive. He refuses to be aggressive. He refuses to be a leader. The opportunity is there. The team is begging. And he just can't do it. I've never seen anything like it. I just can't. It's unbelievable. In basketball, the idea that you could be the alpha male, you could be the main scorer, It's available. The position is available. Help wanted. And nobody wants to do it. That's crazy. That's insane. And then Terrence Shannon Jr., he had a terrible game. 26 minutes, 4 points, 2 for 7 from the floor. Ty Rogers, 14 minutes, 6 points, 3 for 5 from the floor. Maybe you should have took more shots today. Dane, 12 minutes. Jaden, 25 minutes, 3 points. Thing about Jaden's wildly inconsistent like everyone else. You just don't know what kind of production you're going to get. And then Sincere Harris, 4 points. Too bad offensively. He just doesn't bring it like he does defensively. But Brad Underwood said that Sincere Harris was the only player on there who wanted to win. Look at the Nittany Lions. Wow, 16 points, 20 points, 20 points, 15 points. No defense. There was just no defense, like Brad said. So Brad had nothing nice to say, did he? Nothing nice to say. His team had no heart, no passion, no desire to win. They didn't play defense. They couldn't play offense. They were useless. No leadership. Yeah, what more can you say? So that 3-point shot, 7 out of 23, 30%, pathetic. And then we go back to that free throws. This is what I'm talking about. 6 for 12 for 50%. So they shot dang near twice as many threes as free throws. And we talked about this many times. And, here it is. That's a problem. The recipe should be more free throws than three-pointers. That should be the recipe. And then you should add some assists to that recipe. And, of course, make your free throws. But it didn't matter if they made their free throws today. You can give them 6 more points and still get blown out. Rebounding. Not many rebounding opportunities when Penn State is allowed to be wide open whenever they shoot the ball. So that's kind of tough. I guess it was a no defense day today, I guess. 4 steals to 9. That's just a lack of effort and discipline. Turnovers 12 to 9. Penn State led by 19 at one point. That's rough. That's really rough. So finals week and all that's coming up. Brad Underwood said that not much practicing, just a lot of soul searching. People need to become a leader, but I don't know how that's going to happen. We're well into the season. No one's a leader, and everyone's a simp beta male. So I don't know what they're going to do. You can't live in this world where you pick and choose when you're gonna rise up. It doesn't work like that. You can't say, this team's not ranked, so we're not going to show up today. We're going to get blown out at home. It doesn't work like that. And Brad's trying to get that, he's trying to get that message across. But it starts at the top. The junior, Coleman Hawkins, been with this program. And, I tell you, Brad looks at this kind of production, this lack of production, and he just has to, pull his hair out. It's just inexcusable. He can do better than that. He has to do better than that. Just no defense and no scoring. It's unbelievable. You know what we need? I don't care if the kid can play defense. We need a kid who can score the bucket. Is a scoring machine. Who desires it? Who can do it? Who just get him on the team, whoever that may be. I don't care. I don't care if they play defense. I don't care. I'm looking for the most elite scoring machine in the country, and I want him on my team. So put all the NIL money into that kid. We need an alpha male scorer who can get it done. These all are beta males. They're simps. Their defense sucks. Their offense sucks. And Brad Underwood is furious. And I'm sure some people, they'll need to go to counseling after hearing his interview because they'll feel so sad. But Brad Underwood wants to win. He doesn't like losing. And getting blown out at home by Penn State, that's terrible. And like we said, after the game, the players said, we just lost to Penn State. That's how bad it was. We just lost to Penn State. And like Brad said, no disrespect to Penn State, but you can't lose like this. You just can't do it. And that's true. You can't. So I'm sure Penn State will hear the interview of Brad Underwood, and I'm sure they'll have something to say about it. But what can you say? All you can say is Illinois didn't play defense. Illinois couldn't score buckets. That's all you can say. I'll tell you, this team is something else. It really is. But hopefully during this week, you know what? I can't even hope because it's not going to happen. It just is what it is. Coleman Hawkins is a junior. He is what he is. Just a inconsistent beta male. And that's all it is. It's not going to change. Matt is who he is. RJ is who he is. He's a beta male who's never going to do what we think he should do. Terrence is the senior trying to make it to the NBA. And obviously the pressure of that has just caved in on him. And he's struggling really bad. So I think he needs to give up on the dream of the NBA and just play basketball. Just do the best you can for Illinois. And let that decide if you're going to go to the NBA or not. Sky Clark's a freshman, so it is what it is. He's got time. Ty and Jaden Sincere, they're freshmen. So it is what it is. They still got time. Dane, I didn't watch the game, so I didn't know. I obviously I don't know how he played in his 12 minutes, but I don't know. So that's our team. We got a junior who's a beta male who doesn't want to play offense, except for maybe how many times now? I think out of all the games, he's made an offensive contribution 2 or 3 times. That's it. That's just called wildly inconsistent. He's the junior, been here the longest, and Brad Underwood, I'm sure, is embarrassed by him. So it's horrible. And RJ, the sophomore, he's able to do more than this, but he just refuses because he's just a beta male. It's really sad. So we're going to be looking at the transfer portal after this season, and I promise you we're going to be looking for a scoring machine. Doesn't matter if you can play defense or not. You need someone who can score, who's not afraid, who desires it. And the sad thing about it is Coleman's a junior, and we'll get another year of this crap. And RJ's a sophomore. There's a possibility we'll get 2 more years of this crap. But I'll be honest with you, if I'm Brad Underwood, I should do a video about this by itself. But Deion Sanders, I hope Colorado Buffalo, I hope they become an elite program. I'm rooting for them. Deion Sanders went into that room with the Colorado players, and I love what he said. He basically told them all, hit the transfer portal because you're not good enough. Just hit the transfer portal. I'm looking for players who are good, who want to win and do the work to win. And you had a lot of sensitive beta males on YouTube making videos about how that was mean and, that's not cool. No, it's called reality. You expect something and you want something and you're going to get something. And if you can't provide it, you got to go. With a transfer portal now, you don't have to wait out a year. You could just go. So I love what he said to that terrible team. They were 1-11. they got to go. So I love what he said. And if I'm Brad Underwood, I'm going to tell this team, if Coleman Hawkins is going to play the rest of this year like this, I'm serious. I'm telling him hit the transfer portal. If R.J. Melendez is going to play the rest of the year like this, I give up on him. Hit the transfer portal. Terrence will be a senior, so he's gone. I think Matthew's a senior, so he'll be gone. So that's what I would do. There's no reason to have this kind of player on your team. It's an embarrassment. So, and believe me, the majority of his anger wasn't on the freshmen. Brad knows that his freshmen are not special. They're not little first round lottery picks after their freshman year. He knows that. So he's not putting all the blame on the freshmen. He's smarter than that. The majority of this blame is directed at Coleman, RJ are the top two, and then Terrence, and those are the top three. The 95% of his anger is directed at Coleman, RJ, and Terrence, because what they contributed offensively and defensively is an embarrassment, inexcusable. This team, terrible on defense, terrible on offense. They just got blown out at home to Penn State. That's pathetic. So you just don't know what's going to happen with this team. And the fact that Brad Underwood, before the season started, circled the game and talked about it with his team the whole summer, and they go out and do what he says don't do, that's a problem. That is a serious problem. He told them the whole week before the game, we're going to play Texas. Then we're going to play Penn State at home. That's a trap game. We have to play with intensity. We have to show up. We have to win. And they do the opposite. If this team thinks they're just good enough to just show up, they're delusional, to say the least. They're insane. What kind of punishment can Brad give to the team for a lack of offense and defense? Well, I've got a form of punishment that I could use. It's called the suicide line drills until they puke. I'm going to get this team tonight, and we're going to meet up. And because they don't want to use energy on the defensive end and offensive end of the floor, we're going to go ahead and use that energy on suicide line drills. So let's line it up. And we're going to run until I see them puke. It's just that simple. You're going to run until you puke. And I won't tell you that. I'll just wait to see it. But that's what we're going to do to burn off this excess energy. And because the punishment has to be put in place. This is unacceptable. And I'm glad I didn't watch this game. I'm glad. I would have lost it. So 30% from 3, 23 threes. And that's just really bad shooting. But, don't worry, because the free throws, we shot 6 out of 12. So I'm just going to say this last thing, and then I'm done. Illinois' recipe should be shoot more free throws than you do three-pointers. But, of course, you need to make those free throws. That's the recipe. You need to play like you did in the overtime against Texas in the beginning of it. That's the way you play basketball for this team. But the lack of assists is alarming. It is truly alarming. Especially when you get more turnovers than assists. That's just a lack of execution. So Penn State just outplayed Illinois in every way you could. Penn State, I promise you, they're saying, well, we heard about Illinois' defense, but they don't have any defense. We were wide open. It was easy. And for those of you that will just sum this up as, oh, it's not a big deal. We got blown out at home to Penn State. It's okay. The sun will shine tomorrow. That's the wrong attitude to have. That's the kind of attitude that leads you to getting blown out in the second round of the tournament. You know, it's stuff like this that leads to getting blown out in a tournament. When you just are lackadaisical, have no dedication, desire to win, you're not a winner, you're a beta male simp. This is the type of attitude that leads to you getting blown out in the tournament. He's trying desperately to have a team that won't do that. He wants to make the tournament and actually win it. So that's why, people will say, oh, the team won. How can I not speak only happy things? How can I speak on something that was not good? It's because I want this team to win in the tournament. I'm not going to just be drunk off a win and ignore a lack of assists in a game or ignore a lack of free throw shooting or whatever it may be. Win or lose, there's something in that game that needs to be addressed. And we need to address it because we're looking big picture here. We're looking tournament. These games are all practices essentially for the tournament. And what they just showed was a lack of interest and care in winning. So this could be a first, second round opponent in the tournament. And Illinois just shows up and then gets blown out. And then there's Brad Underwood 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row getting blown out in the tournament. You think he wants that? Of course not. So he's trying to prepare his team, but it's just not working out. It's not working out because you got beta males. Tell you, Coleman Hawkins is a beta male. He's a simp. RJ Melendez is a beta male. He's a simp. And Terrence Shannon is just struggling with his NBA desire. I think that pressure of him trying to show the league that he can go to the NBA is just caving in on him. He can't handle it. He's falling apart. And it's going to be up to our freshmen. If RJ and Coleman, if they were any kind of young men, they would come out in front of the team and just make the statement that we're beta male simps and we need you freshmen to step it up and score points and play defense for us because we're unable to do so. Like, I'm telling you, there's no hope because you've never seen it before. You have never seen a player, I can't think of one, who was a beta male simp and then all of a sudden they got hit in the head and it just all turned around. They became an alpha male. They would consistently score on offense, be productive, play defense. It hasn't happened. You just are what you are. And that's what Coleman is, and that's what RJ is. And there's just nothing that anyone can do about it. You can scream about it. You can cry about it. But it is what it is. And hit the transfer portal is what I say. If you're going to continue to be a beta male simp, hit the transfer portal so we can get 2 players in here who actually want to do something. So anyway, this is a horrible, horrible loss. There's no other way to state it. And if you haven't watched the Brad Underwood interview, you need to watch it. Because if that's what he said to the public, I can only imagine what he said to that team. And they deserved it too. They deserved every word of it. All right. It is what it is. This team's got a lot of problems. And a lot of it is emotionally, mentally, a heart situation, leadership situation. So it's not good. It's not good. All right. It is what it is.